All right, I'm 365 days of horsemanship, day 78. Yeah, pretty nice day today for me, to be fair. You can see Lawrence in the background. We just had some nice time together, just a nice bit of scratching, massaging, itching. Yeah, Ven has gone home today because we'd like for Mia to get a rest. He might come back, he might not come back, we're not sure. They seem like they're in, a pretty good place, but there's no action going on between them. And obviously he moves her quite a lot and we just want her to get a bit of a rest. So yeah, so we'll see. But definitely I think it was actually nice to see when he left that Mia was pining for him a little bit. She's still pining a little bit now. But it's, it's not really too much, but it's more than I've ever seen her pine for any horse before. And I think it's been really good for her to want a horse, to need a horse, to miss a horse, to be sociable with a horse, to have her needs fulfilled by another horse. I think all of those things are really positive for her. And something she's never had before, and something that normal horses do and feel. And I think definitely watching her over the last few days has been quite interesting, because there have been lots of times where I've seen her with him and had this sense that she sort of almost self-sabotages herself, where she'll accept him in, she'll want him close, and then her anxiety will come up and her defensiveness, and then she'll sort of self-sabotage the moment, the connection between them. And I think it's really good for her to have been pushed by him to connect, and be forced to have a conversation, with another horse, where she can't just fight her way out of it, which is what she does, 99% of the time with every other horse. So that's been really good for her. I think it's been good for me. I think breeding is a very interesting process. I think both horses, both parties get very single-minded. And in that sense, it's been quite useful, because when there's only one conversation happening, it's much easier to work out where you fit in that conversation. Where I fit in that conversation. It's much easier for me to read what they're saying, because they're only talking about one thing. So that was really useful for sure. And yeah, and Lawrence has been super interesting too. I'm really interested to see how he is tomorrow. He has been, I think, playing the role of watchman. I think it's partially because he smells all the other horses on me, and I'm much more aware of all of the other horses than any of the other, other horses across the whole property. If I just, I don't know if I can turn it around, but if I turn it around for you, you can kind of see how things are here. And you can see that from my position that I'm in now, I can kind of, probably you can't really see that well, I don't know. But from my position where I'm at now, I can see everybody. I can see, there's a herd over here. There's one in this field next door. There's Lawrence's herd. And then there's Mia and Ven, who are over there, or were over there. And from here, from this vantage point on the hill, I can see everybody at all times. And Lawrence has been up here a lot. And I think it's partially because he can smell the other horses on me. And I think it's also partially because historically he has spent a lot of time in all the different herds. I think he's probably the horse that's moved around the most, because in the summer, historically, he's been with the lower weight horses in the fields with lots of grass, you know, as much grass as we've got. And then in the winter, because there was a long period where he couldn't handle being on any kind of haylage or processed hay of any sort, then he would move to the herd with all of the traditionally more overweight horses, because they had hay rather than haylage over the winter. So he has, you know, made relationships and friendships with pretty much all the horses here, which I can't really think of any other horses that have really done that. And I've always had this sense with him that he sees the whole place kind of as one big herd, in the same way that I do, but potentially, you know, a lot of the other horses don't really feel that way. And I think definitely there was this feeling from him these last few days, like, you know, Mia, as the strongest lead mare on this property, you know, she's distracted, she's busy, she's not looking out for stuff, she's not checking for predators, she's not, you know, doing the normal things that, you know, she normally does with her day. And I think there was definitely this feeling from Lawrence that he needed to take that up. And seeing him kind of up here is definitely something that I've not seen him do before. He's definitely one of the horses that is on the outside of the herd. You know, normally you'll have like the core group of horses in the middle, and then you'll usually have one or two horses that are more comfortable in the kind of outside position, where they are kind of checking the periphery for predators. And I definitely got this sense that Lawrence felt, for whatever reason, like that was his job more than usual these last couple of days, to kind of keep an eye on everything and watch everybody, and just kind of, I think his anxiety generally was maybe just a little bit higher than usual. So it was interesting to see him make those choices. It was really interesting to have him invite me into some of those choices with him, and I would come up and he would be there watching. And interestingly, you know, when I would come, he would become more mobile around the field, but definitely there's been a couple of times where I have sat with him and watched everybody, and that's been really nice as well. So it'll be interesting to see how things go over the next few days, what changes happen now that Ven's gone. And hopefully Mia will get some R&R, and yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess. But yeah, a really nice kind of relaxing day today. Nice to feel a positive kind of ending or pause in the journey with Mia and Ven, and definitely I feel like she's taken some really positive stuff away, and so have I. And so that's, you know, kind of really all that I can ask. You know, the plan has changed slightly from, you know, him staying for, you know, near on a month, but I think the choices that have been made and the situation as it is now is really in a good place. Hi, buddy. Harry's just come to say hey. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what the future holds.